investigation found that Israel and Hamas committed war crimes and crimes against humanity in the recent Gaza conflict. Yet, the US and Israel insist that the report was biased, and proceeding with the committee's recommendations would be harmful to the peace process. Why is international law not applied in this case when the evidence exists? And please explain, as Quartet Envoy, why the application of international law would be harmful to the overall peace process. And furthermore, why the siege on Gaza is not similarly deemed harmful to the peace process. Thank you.
Well, of course, international law should be applied, but I mean, you have given one view, and the trouble is there's another view. And so this is a matter of the most deep and profound contention between Israel and the Palestinians. And I'll tell you what I think very honestly, and I've been to Gaza twice within the last period. And it's a tragedy because the people there are hemmed in. It's very difficult for them. There is a blockade on Gaza. But it is also true, and one of the things you learn about conflicts like this, and I learned this in Northern Ireland, is that you never solve these conflicts by taking one view and forgetting about the other. It is also true that in 2004, 2005, Israel withdrew from Gaza. Israel took their settlers with them. And rocket attacks came out of Gaza on Israeli towns. Now, those rocket attacks have got to stop as well. The Israeli soldier that is kidnapped at the moment, Gilad Shalit, should be released. You know, yes, it's true that it's true, and I've argued many times that our policy in respect to Gaza should be different, but so should the Hamas policy towards Israel be different too. And therefore, my view of this is very simple, you know, and this is a sort of difficult thing to say. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, because I believe that international law should apply to these situations. Of course I do. But it's not in the end going to be resolved by that, by a debate over a report that is hotly supported on one side, hotly and deeply contested on the other. It's going to be resolved when we understand what the basic issue is. Israel needs security. The Palestinians need an independent state with the Israeli occupation lifted. The only way, in my view, you will get this is if we build from the bottom up as well as negotiate from the top down. What do I mean by that? I mean that we build the institutions of Palestinian statehood, as we're doing in the West Bank. As part of my role as Quartet Envoy, building their economy, building their institutions of governance, their security forces. Now, just to tell you some good news out of Israel and Palestine, the dispute. There's a lot of bad news. When I first became the envoy, I couldn't have gone to a city like Jenin or Nablus on the West Bank. Today I go to Jenin and Nablus. Went to open a hotel in Nablus just the other day. I go to places like Kalkidia. I go to Hebron, I go to Jericho, Ramallah obviously. In other words, I can go around the West Bank. And that's because the Palestinians, with European, American, other support, are actually providing security. As a result of that, some of the major checkpoints are now open, and the Palestinians have a greater control over their territory. Now that's what we've got to build on, in my view. This dispute will only be resolved if everyone agrees to end violence, everyone agrees to a political negotiation, everyone agrees that the outcome of that negotiation is two states living side by side in peace, and the international community shows the will and commitment to deliver it. And believe me, I mean, I've seen the situation in Gaza. It is horrific, but changing it is not a responsibility for Israel alone. It's a responsibility also for those who run Gaza, and it's a responsibility for us in the international community. I believe that you will think this strange. I actually believe it is possible to resolve this dispute. But it's only possible to resolve it on the basis that we understand the pain of either side, get them to understand that they are not alone in their pain, and ensure we have a just and fair solution that allows each Israelis and Palestinians their own state to live together in peace.
We have a number of questions.